Hello, this is Radio Geek from Radio Geek Blades, and today for you, I've got a classic, Sod Buster Jr. in the yellow Delrin. Interesting story on this knife though. I was in my local Tractor Supply, and they usually had this like four-sided carousel thing with all the knives in it, and it'd have case in there, and buck and maybe a few old timers in the same case. It wasn't a big display case like some of the ones I've seen. It was just a little spinning thing with four sides on it with knives in there, and they were held on by magnets. Anyway, the store that I was going to, I was looking for it and it was gone. The display was gone, and they were rearranging some shelves, and they had a lot of knives in blister packs, like case knives in blister packs hanging up on pegs. So it looked like they were doing away with that display altogether and going for other packaging like clamshell packaging. But anyway, at the bottom of the shelf they had this plastic box, like a lock box, and this knife was in there, and it just had a sticker on the side, clearance, like it's $22.99, so $23. So I thought, wow, Sod Buster Jr., Case Sod Buster Jr. for $23, and it was carbon steel too. So I figured, I'll get that. So I got it, and it was all sticky with that sticker on it, and I had to wipe that off. And I was noticing that these brass pins were all kind of tarnished and almost greenish looking, and the blade was tarnished, and it actually even had some pitting on it. Now I don't know if you can see it, but this area in here, it still has some pitting, and I wasn't able to get that out with just some polish. So it kind of had a, I don't know, like almost a patina on it itself. And I was like, wow, what in the world? What has this knife been through? And then I got looking at it, and I got looking at the tag stamp here. Let me get it out a little bit so you can see all of them. Maybe you can make that out. This knife, I just bought this in 2024, and this is a 2015. A 2015. This knife has been sitting in that store somehow, somewhere for 9 years, and obviously it was just, I don't know, it fell on the bottom of the display or something, because it was all kind of tarnished and dirty, and I don't know what the story of this knife is or how it ended up being in the store that long, but yeah, it's from 2015 and I just bought it. So that was pretty weird. And like I say, it looks like the Tractor Supply that I usually go to, it looks like they're doing away with that knife display thing, and they've got these clamshell packages with, I saw one that had a Stockman in it that was yellow Delrin, and a Trapper that was that way too, that was in those packaging. I didn't see any others that were packaged like that. So I don't know what that means, if they're not going to be carrying as many cases, and the ones they carry are going to be available in those clamshell packages. What exactly that means. I did talk to a guy that worked there a while ago, and I was talking about the knife display, and I said, yeah, every time I come in here there's like hardly any knives in there. There's like 2 or 3 knives in there. What's up with that? And he says, well, he goes, we really don't have any control over that. They have an outside vendor come in and fill that thing for them, so they just sell them. So I don't know if they get a percentage or how that works, but you would think that vendor would be anxious to keep it stocked so they'd sell more, but they didn't seem to be a priority for them. And every time I was in there, there might be on each side there might be 2 knives, and of course they weren't all cases either. Some were bucks and old timers and stuff like that, but there wasn't very well stocked at all. But the guy said that that really wasn't up to the store, and now I see they don't even have it anymore. So maybe they're taking it more in their own hands but they're looking for alternate packaging, and they're not the typical Case knives that you see in the boxes. So I don't know what that means for that particular Tractor Supply. I went to another Tractor Supply and they still had their little four-sided carousel that was pretty much the same, you know, not many knives in there. So I know in the southern states they usually have a bigger display and more to pick from. Knives, I guess, would be more popular down there. I don't know, but up here in Michigan anyway, it doesn't seem to be that there's much of restocking going on at the Tractor Supply anyway. So you guys that live in the South and have a Tractor Supply, I'd be interested to know, like, what is your knife selection like down there? Because it's pretty slim up here as far as the Case knives go. But anyway, I just thought this was pretty interesting that I got a brand new knife in 2024, Sod Buster Jr, carbon steel, brand new in 2024, that has a tang stamp from 2015. I'd like to know the story of this knife. It's got a tale to tell, I'm sure. Anyway, till next time, this is the Radio Geek from Radio Geek Blades.